There's many long-term consequences of this event. So the first one, I guess, for European powers is that Britain is no longer that dominant Western power in the region. Their prestige has been damaged, and so they're no longer going to be be that power. Similarly with France, not to a lesser degree because France wasn't as prominent in the region, but obviously their status as a global player, like this colonial power, is also weakened. For Egypt, interestingly, it is a military defeat. I mean, Israel forces are able to defeat Egypt, and then you have Britain and France come in as well. But the fact that Britain and France got involved actually is kind of a boost for Nasser because now he was seen as standing up to Western imperialism. So his reputation gets a great boost throughout the Arab world. Just by nationalizing the canal, he already had a boost. And then, basically the idea of him standing up to these powers helped him out as well. And so his position is solidified there. For the United States, there's a couple things. So one, relationships with their allies reached, kind of an all-time post-war low. Now, those relations quickly rebound, but they really do damage allied relationship, at least in the short term. Long term, the United States has realized that Britain can no longer perform that role as kind of that, stabilizing Western power kind of in the region. And so they fear a power vacuum. And they're worried that the Soviets will fill that power vacuum. And so the United States feels that it has no choice but to take over kind of as that major Western power in the region. And so the United States will, going forward, 1957, there's something called the Eisenhower Doctrine gets announced. And basically it's the idea the United States is going to put more money, economic and military aid to support, pro-Western Arab regimes in the region to help compete or to stop any kind of Soviet intrusions in the region. The United States, their reputation also improves in the region just because they did stand up to their allies as Western imperialism. So they do kind of get a boost in reputation. But unfortunately for them, so does the Soviet Union. The Soviet Union also is seen as a strong supporter of Egyptian sovereignty. And so their reputation also increases, opening up more avenues and doors for them. And I think in general, after the Suez, you see the Middle East kind of as more of a potential Cold War hotspot. So any local conflict between the Arab and Israelis is necessarily going to potentially draw in the superpowers. So that kind of flows from this as well. For Israel, they obviously withdraw, so they're not able to topple Nasser, which might have been a goal, but they are able to at least open up the Straits of Turin, which allows them to then get their shipping into the Indian Ocean. And also the UN did get involved as well and create a peacekeeping force. And so now, at least for Israel, you have this kind of buffer force in between Israel and Egypt, which hopefully would protect their southern border a little bit more than before.